What is up, bitches? Welcome back to some ASMR. We're gonna be reading some positive words today. Reading You're a Badass. If you first time here, it's okay. If you haven't been listening to the book, it's just kind of like, it's not like a story, so it's not like you need to like listen to my previous videos, but you totally should. So last time we were talking about procrastination and how we need to stop fucking doing it. And by we, I mean me. I just got this really cute candle today. It's lavender, and it's crazy because it's lavender is like my favorite color, my favorite scent, my favorite everything. And it was like the first candle I grabbed because, well, it was lavender color, and I thought it was so freaking cute the way it looked. And I was like, okay, if I like this scent, then I'm gonna go ahead and grab it and buy it. And of course, it was lavender. I just have like a sense for this shit. That's my dog Willie. He's snoring, but that's just setting the ambiance. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and light this motherfucker. I just got my Glock on me. Okay, so we're gonna set that right there. Okay, I don't even know where we are at. Okay, so chapter 18 talks about procrastination, so I'm guessing we are on chapter 19. I haven't read this yet, and honestly, I feel kind of bad because I know some people want to read this book, and I feel like I'm kind of ruining it for them. But this is like the type of book I feel like you can go back and read it many times because it just has such like good words of affirmation that like sometimes if you're just feeling down or you just need a pick me up, like this is the book. If you need motivation, anything to like keep you going, like just open this book again and you'll find some like good quotes and whatever. So yeah, I don't really know what this one is about, but let's go ahead for it. So chapter 19, the drama of overwhelm. And it starts off with a quote by Mark Twain. I have lived a long life and had many troubles, most of which never happened. When I set out to write a new book, I find it very helpful to start with a separate index card for each chapter. I put the chapter title at the top of each card, write my notes in the space underneath, and then spread them all out on a table so I can see the whole thing at once. I just did a few days ago and it was so exciting. Behold, my glorious new book. About 2 seconds later, however, I was seized by panic. OMG. That is a lot of chapters. How the hell am I going to get it all done in time? My deadline is speeding around the corner and I'm not even entirely sure what I'm putting in each section. Yeah, what was I thinking how to come? Didn't start this 8 months ago. It is too early for wine. Someone help me, I'm sinking. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Just do one chapter at a time. So I pulled a random card off the table, opened my eyes, and it was, of course, the drama of overwhelm. I like to remind you and me that majority of the pain and suffering in our lives is caused by the unnecessary drama that we created. If we happen to find ourselves, for example, in a catatonic state of overwhelm, hugging our knees while rocking back and forth with our mouths hanging open, just like everything else in our lives, all it takes is a shift of perception to create a new reality. Life is but a dream, but don't turn it into a nightmare. We are so unbelievably blessed to have all the things we have, all the opportunities and ideas and people and tasks and interests and experiences and responsibilities. Choosing to freak out about it all rather than enjoying the living of our lives is like throwing pearls before swine. Such a waste of such a glorious gift. In the interest of helping you get more pleasant perspective on your massive to-do list, let's take the three most common compliments. Let's take the most three common complaints about overwhelm and pretty them up. Number 1, there's not enough time. I feel like this is definitely one. My dog is like, I'm gonna pet him real quick. I feel like that's one that I say a lot. I always tell my friends, like, oh, there's never enough time, but like, I'm just gonna read it. Thanks to the hard work of people with big brains, we know now that time is an illusion. While most people have no idea what the hell that means, there's another angle that's a lot easier to grasp. Not having time is an illusion. For example, I don't have time to find a real parking spot, so I'll park in this loading zone. Oh, look at that. I just spent 3 hours I don't have getting my car out of the tow garage. Another 2 getting lost on the way home, and 45 minutes complaining about it to my wife. I don't have time to clean my office. Oh, look at that. I just spent half an hour that I don't have looking for my phone that was buried beneath a pile of crap. Oh, and look at that. My phone is dead, which means I'm about to waste even more time I don't have looking for the damn charger, which might be underneath the pile of books over there. Please, I hope. When we're forced to do something, suddenly the time is there, which means there's all the time. But we've just chosen to limit ourselves by believing that there isn't. Ever notice how if you got 6 months to do something, it will take you 6 months to do it, but if you have a week, it will take you a week? Once you understand that time, like the rest of your reality, is in your mind, you can make it work for you instead of being its slave. Here are some things you could do right now to start wrangling time into submission. Show some respect. If you want more time in your life, show time some respect. If you're constantly late, if you blow things off, or fear a flake, you're not sending a message to the universe or others or yourself that you value the precious time that you crave and trying to create more of for yourself. You can create anything you desire, but you have to truly want it. If you act like time isn't important, that it's fully worth wasting and disrespecting, you're not in alignment with what you say you want, so you're going to have a hard time getting it. I mean, think of time as a person. Would you expect time to keep showing up for you if you constantly treat it like it was some dumb thing that didn't matter? I sure think not. If you're always late, start being early. If you constantly cancel or flake or forget your dates with people, get it together. Write down your appointments and keep them. Set your alarm on your cell phone to remind you to get ready early. Write things on the back of your hands. Keep your word if you say you're going to do something. It's not rocket science. If you want to have a good relationship with time, have a good relationship with time. Not only will this help you create more time in your own life, but you'll stop being one of those rude people who constantly waste everyone else's. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. What do you find yourself doing instead of doing what you're supposed to be doing? Screwing around on Facebook, answering emails, eating even though you're not hungry? Once you know what your favorite distractions are, you could build up a good defense against them. Turn off the internet and phone while you're working. Make the kitchen off limits until you're done if you constantly find yourself standing in front of an open fridge. We get into such bad habits that half the time we don't even realize what we're doing. Once you become aware of what your weak spots are, you can start to protect yourself against them. Chunk it down. There's nothing more deflating than looking at some giant task and wondering how you'll ever get it done. So don't try and eat the whole elephant at once. Break it down into bite-sized bits. For example, instead of walking around your entire house from 1 catastrophically messy room to the next, wondering how you're ever going to clean the whole gigantic thing. Break it down and focus on the one room at a time. Our brains can only handle so much information at once without exploding, so by looking at each task separately, the larger task suddenly becomes more manageable. Brains love chunks. Checking it down works great for time too. For example, if you're working on designing a new website, instead of setting aside the entire day to work, decide you'll work in an hour-long chunks. During this time, you'll be more unauthorized to get up to use the bathroom, get something to eat, check your text, go online, etc. Once your 60 minutes is up, you can take your break and do whatever you want until your next 60-minute chunk. We can do anything for 60 minutes. Our brains go into overwhelm when we try to do it all in one block of time. 2. There's too much to do. Ever notice that whenever you ask someone how they're doing, about 99% of the time they're saying like good, really busy, but good. Busy has been the new fine, thanks. I mean, where's fun in that? What kind of message does that send out to the world about ourselves? No wonder we all feel like we're living pinned beneath a giant cement slab of to-do lists. So yes, the first task is to watch your mouth. Stop talking about how busy you are. Focus on enjoying about what you do and spaces in between the doing instead of feeling weighed down by it all. Decide that you live an awesome, relaxed life full of interesting products that you love doing and communicate that to the world and yourself. And then go merrily and do it. Get some help. If you're feeling totally confused, disorganized, and don't know where to start or what to do next, get an outside perspective. A lot of times we're so tangled in our own lives that we can't see something that's totally obvious to someone else. Ever spend quality time searching for your glasses and they're sitting right in your head? It's sort of like that. You spend hours, days, months, or forever trying to figure out how to redo your website, or plotting out an exercise regimen, or figuring out how to organize your office when someone who isn't as buried alive by all the moving parts as you are can nail it right away. Get a new pair of eyeballs on the situation. And get someone who knows what they're doing, please. Don't get money advice from someone who's as broke as you are, or dating advice from the terminally single, or decide that someone's main qualification for helping you is that they'll do it for free or trade. Working with a pro will save you time and money in the long run because you won't have to spend time on doing over whatever wimpy first attempt was. Hire a business coach, ask a friend who's totally together and successful to sit with you, hire a clutter consultant, and if none of this makes sense for your particular situation, read on. Get into reality. Sometimes we take on more than we can chew because we think we have to do it all, or that the world will fall apart if we don't do everything, or we are bad, unlovable people if we don't do 8 million things we're trying to do. So get very real with yourself here. Why are you doing all the things that you're doing? Is it absolutely necessary that you do it all? Do you need to do it all at the same time? Can some of it wait? Be handed off to someone? Dropped altogether? If you must do it all, what would it make it more enjoyable? Just like chunking down your time, chunk down your tasks, takes you a freak out and puts things manageable bite-sized pieces. Here's how to break it down. Make your to-do list, look at it. What needs to happen right now? What can wait? Put these on 2 separate lists. Hide the wait list. What are the big important tasks on the now list? What are the little pity ones? Give the pity ones to someone else and save them off for hours and spend the day doing the most important task. It's called prioritizing people. The shorter the list you're working with, the better you feel. And remember, you never get it all done, so stop stressing about it. Do what you can enjoy instead of trying to do it all in misery. Delegate or die. One of the best ways to lighten your load is to stop being a control freak or a tightwad and hire someone to help you or delegate those around you. You absolutely cannot grow a business, get promoted, or be a cool parent, and you absolutely will go gray before your time if you try to do every single little thing by yourself. Figure out what tasks you hate doing and always have bad at and just don't have time to do, and find someone else to do them. I realize the reason you may not have done this yet is because you can't afford to hire someone, or because you think you're the best at it, or because you're a control freak. But like many other excuses, the answer is often there. You're just not looking at it properly. 2 more pages. And how to get help if it was a matter of life and death, and what would you do? You could get an intern from your local college. You could get a fan or family member to help you out. You could hire someone who just 30 minutes a week to increase as you go. You could sell something to bring in the money to pay someone, or borrow it, or push yourself to make it. You could hand it over to human resources and make it their problem. You could ask your husband to empty the dishwasher and get your teenager to clean out the garage so you have more time. Help is all around us. Sometimes receiving it is simply a matter of looking at it differently or not giving up so easily. Deciding you can't have something you need or want instantly cuts you off from the flow of manifesting it, as well as distance you from the part that lit you up about it in the first place. I'm so sorry, that's my fucking fridge. Once you think I can't, the universe is like, alrighty then, no assistance needed here, see you later. Even if you have no idea where it's going to come from, stay open to the possibility of support presenting itself. You may be surprised at what you can create and how much you can get. Decide you must have it, trust that it's available to you, do everything you can to figure out a way to make it happen, and trust it's going to happen will be revealed. Remember that you're number one. Put your priorities first. Don't check emails or voice messages or Facebook until you've gotten into your day and accomplished some of the tasks you want to do. Don't answer the phone or text while you're busy. Other people's needs can accompany several lifetimes worth of your attention, and if you let them, they will. That is something I have a problem with, and I really need to fucking hear that. I feel like this whole chapter is what I needed to hear. But like that right there, it's like, yeah, like when other people need you, like lately I feel like that's been happening. Like I'll like be in the middle of like filming a video, or I'm like working on things that I'm trying to do for myself, and then like a friend calls me and I answer it, and they're talking to me about their problems for like an hour, and I'm like I want to be there for them as a friend, so I do it, but it's like it could wait. Like you need to put your priorities first. Like people are always gonna have problems, you know what I mean? Like it's just gonna put your shit aside. Like I'm just gonna finish. 3, I'm exhausted. Oh my god, that is me 24/7. The belief that taking time off will cause your entire life to collapse is not only unhealthy, but it's arrogant. If you don't take time off, your body will eventually put a foot down and make you sick. Bodies do it all the time. I need some tea. That was good. Stress is a leading cause of cancer, heart attacks, liver failure, stupid accidents, grouchiness, and sadly not being able to breathe. Aside from the sickness factor, making time to do things that inspire you should always be a priority, because that's the point of living life without them. Where's the fun in waking up at 85 and realize you couldn't find the time to enjoy yourself? What were you doing that was so important instead? This is not a luxury reserved for people who are richer, smarter, or less bogged down than you are. It's a luxury reserved for people who take time to figure it out and choose to design a more fun, fulfilled life. You use tools in this chapter to make the time to get the rest you need and have fun you want, so you can enjoy the precious life while you're still in possession of it. And lastly, number 4, love yourself. You're doing an awesome job. You're doing great, honey. I literally feel like that chapter, was literally what I needed to hear. And I hope it helped anybody else, because yeah, I really needed that. And my reading to you helped you relax. I hope you feel less stressed because you deserve it. Take it easy on yourself, but also do what you gotta do to get this life you deserve. Don't stress. Just do one thing at a time. You know, there's so much beauty in the world. Like, everybody deserves to have it. Everybody has the capacity to get what they want, and it's literally all in our hands. So I hope you have a good night and be safe.